Its title is the Computational Archaeology for Archaeological Research. This is also a joint presentation with Professor Withanachchi and R.A.N.N. Ranasinghe. Both are from Rajarata University. I think this must be another perspective or different perspective of presenting or using computational studies in archaeology, which is very, as I said, very interesting. Over to you, please.
Good afternoon to you all. Here we are going to present our study as the computational archaeology for the archaeological research development. So this is a collaborative research. I am Ranasinghe as a professional lecturer in computing and Professor Withanachchi as a professor in archaeology. So let me go through the content of our presentation. The computational archaeology, it's known as computer-based analytical methods and the programs to study long-term and historical human behavior and with the behavioral evolution. The computer technology is used in many fields by applying the word computational. This technology uses the methods, algorithms, functions, and some unique programs to calculate and analyze some large amount of data. With that, the data science and big data concepts are applied to particular fields. For the archaeological research, the researchers has to identify, classify, analyze, and give predictions based on the existing data. For that, the computer technology is built up with the scientific progress, with including, you can see in these technologies. And also, the computer technology can be used for the modeling and visualizing purposes as well. The problem of the archaeological research field, the researchers have to handle and maintain a large number of data sets with different categories. And some data information, some evidence can be found in undefined categories in the present, in the research step, and but it may be useful for in the future. Therefore, the vast amount of data is difficult to analyze and categorize manually. In other hand, the archaeological sites and collected artifacts under risk due to the damages when doing some excavation processes, experiment by doing human beings and their transportation process as well. So the main objective of our study is to develop a computational process to increase the efficiency, accuracy, and importance of archaeological research by reducing the harmful effects, harmful activities, and damages to archaeological sites and artifacts. And also, by this study, we are expecting to contribute for the introducing new methodology for the archaeological research and education for the Sri Lanka, and contribute to the protection of archaeological resources heritage for the future generations as well. The computational tools that we can use in the archaeological excavation and research processes, survey area here. The survey is the first step of archaeological excavation. This can be done either with remote sensing or direct visual observations as well. And I think you know the LiDAR technology, the light detecting and ranking technology. It produces the detailed three-dimensional maps of the Earth's surface in a fraction of the time. The LiDAR sensors can be used to recognize the measure the maps, objects, and structures of the otherwise the remaining hidden things. So actually, luckily to say, this technology is now introduced into the modern smartphone as well. So I think the LiDAR we can use easily in future. And the drones, the archaeologists can use drones to capture sites, pictures, and videos from the place by using remote sensing technology. And the laser scanning, this is also records the distance from the scan to points on a surface using eye surface lasers, generating what is known as a point cloud. Combining these point cloud creates a full 3D representation of even the most complicated features. And the virtual reality and augmented reality. Here, using I mentioned above tools can be modeled the 3D view of the actual archaeological sites and artifacts. From these technologies, the researchers can observe large amount of details without reaching the actual site, the real environment. And also the students can learn more interesting and they can feel the actual environment from anywhere. From these technologies, the archaeological sites and artifacts we can save and protect. The tourism interaction and museums can be enhanced with the technology with providing real environment experiences. These images we have got from internet. I think that this is an augmented reality video. I think you can see here. So actually, we are more focusing to increase these applications and modern technology for the Sri Lanka archaeological sector. So 3D printing also, I think you can see here. Yeah, 3D printing also we can use for the archaeological researches and the future prevention of archaeological sites. Here, explain how 3D printing can be used for the archaeologists and museums for the preserving the heritage. The replication of historical artifacts. Here, you can see in this image, as an example of this image, the 3D reproduction of a skull that allows to examine it while preserving the original one. You can see here. And repairing damaged arts and artifacts. Here, this image, you can see that this part is repairing these artifacts by using the 3D printing technology and recreating mummies and preserving archaeological sites. Here, 3D, you can see the 3D printing is not just limited to printing small objects. It can be used to create an entire archaeological site as well. So these technologies can be used in Sri Lanka as well. In our study, we have examined that these technologies we are used as very minimal at the present in our country. So the methodology, this is the traditional methodology. This traditional method for archaeological research, this process has number of steps with very careful data collection methods. Therefore, this process has most difficult and pressureful phases, steps for the researchers as well as there are more risk for the archaeological sites. These processes are described in, I think you all know this traditional method of the archaeological research process. Here, this is our proposed method, proposed procedure to reduce the pressure and risk in archaeological researches. We have proposed this procedure using computational archaeology. Actually, this can be known as the hybrid approach as well. The selecting the sites. So instead of selecting site, we have used the term scan the site. For that, the drones, LiDAR, and other scanning tools can be used to measure the actual surface and exact area of the proposed research. From that, researchers can study and monitor the actual environment without reaching the required site. The technique can be used especially if researchers have some unreachable places to study. So in this place, we can use the scanning process. Second one, the collect data. In this step, the researchers can use any computational tools such as the data storing, compare and verify data with pre-collected and analyzed data in place. For that, databases and data warehouse technologies can be used. Videography, photography, and documentary can help in the research conducting phase to keep actual environment for the anytime usage. Third one is the model the artifacts. Here, if necessary, we can do the excavating also. That's why we have used the hybrid approach for here. After that, categorize the data. The archaeological researchers have very sensitive micro and important data should protect without any damages when doing excavating and cleaning processes. For that, the paper suggests to use computer technology to materials so that the researchers can use videography, virtual reality technology, and the 3D printing technology to study the site materials and artifacts. If here having most essential things to excavation, it can be done with safely using the scanning processes. The fourth one is the reporting and results. The computer technology is built up with scientific progress, qualitative and quantitative data used for the archaeological research. In quantitative approach, build up an archaeological information system that providing the quantitative science, geophysics, geoinformation science, and applied statistics as well. It includes some algebra, statistics, methods, and the computer algorithms to process, manipulate, and access complex and large data and information. And the computational archaeology allows archaeological scientists to design and carry out research in a formal, transparent, and understandable way. The last one is last step of our method, the data mining and multidimensional analysis of archaeological data and also predictions. Here, the technology of data warehousing, such as the OLAP and OLTP. Here, these are the technologies we are used in the data warehousing process. The technology OLTP we can use for OLAP and OLTP used to identify patterns, solve complex data sets, and generate predictions as well. Here, OLAP applies complex queries to a large amount of historical data and aggregated from OLTP databases and other sources. For data mining and analytical archaeological intelligence projects. And also the data mining is the process of sorting through large data sets of identify patterns and establish relationships to solve problems through the data analysis. This is our proposed method, and here can conclude that the archaeology is most important for everyone because the archaeology information always gives our history and evolution details of human behavior and artifacts. This paper has been discussed about the computational archaeology and uses of computer sciences to the archaeology field. According to the study, researchers can use computational tools to excavation, collect data, prepare sources, and analyze the archaeological context with handling number of complex data sets. The proposed process for the archaeological research it can be increase the efficiency, accuracy, and importance for the archaeological research, and it will help to reduce the harmful effects that happens by the human for the archaeological sites. And therefore, it is directly influenced to the save nature and valuable archaeological sites and artifacts for the future generation. From the proposed methodology for the archaeological research, it can be fulfill the whole research process with the providing future valuable benefits of Sri Lanka, such as it will be increased more interest and popularity of archaeological sector and the archaeological subject in education sector. It can be promoted and students are able to do learning process very motivated and enjoyable. The real environment experiences can be gained by AR, augmented reality, and virtual reality technologies, and our technology can be promoted to the visitors, tourists, and it will help to increase our country reputation as well as our heritage. So, yeah, this is the reference we have referred. So, thank you.